Hello everyone. So today we are going to see the next part, consolidation part. So till now we have completed the definition and deduplication part, and now today we are going to see the consolidation. So in the consolidation we have three different modes to consolidate our data. One is no consolidation, then we have row based consolidation, and third one is field based. So what are these? Let's start with the no consolidation. No consolidation will do nothing, but it will pass the data with some additional metadata. What is metadata? Metadata is nothing, but it will add some extra columns like cluster size and cluster ID. It will identify all the same duplicate items and put it in a cluster and count how many such records are there, and it will give that number of records in that particular cluster. See here. So this is the data set we have. In the cluster ID, if you run this test data, you will see it will identify all those duplicate records and it will give a separate ID for them. And based on the number of records that are identified as duplicates based on the strategy that we have decided. Yes, for cluster ID 1, we have only one record in that, there is no duplicate. For cluster ID 3, we have two records in this. So there will be two cluster IDs, number 3, and in the both we have same number of records. So we have seen till now this point, up to this point, and now how to make sure that which record will survive and which are all will not survive. This is what we do it in the consolidation part. No consolidation we have seen. So row based consolidation we have three different strategies. One is most data, second is most field, and third one is model exact. So in the most data it will go row by row. It will pick one row and compare it with all the other rows, and based on the number of duplicate characters present in the those two rows which it is comparing. So based on that it will identify based on the threshold like 90%, 95%. If 90% of the character matches, it will place them in the same cluster, and based on the more number of characters present in whichever record, that record will only survive. Okay. In the most field it will go column by column, and whichever record has most number of columns filled with data, that column will only survive. In the model exact, so in the model exact is it is derived from the mode of the statistics, like how many common values are there, that only that record is the mode of that record. See, I have given an example. So in the person name we have John Smith, J. Smith, all the different name. It all seems like the same person, but there are some variations. In the email, we have same email for all, and in the city, we have 4 Delhi and 1 Mumbai, and company all work in the informatica only. So if you go column by column, you will see in the person name John Smith with that specific characters John Smith. There are two such person there, and for J Smith we have two. Jonathan Smith is one. Tie between John Smith and J Smith means two John Smith we have and two J Smith. Then email address, if you see email address, all five are same. Delhi 4, one is Mumbai. Company all five same. Then how it will decide which record to survive? So John Smith or J Smith, because there is a tie. So final golden record, it may choose John Smith or J Smith. It all depends on the informatica now. It will randomly choose. So it does not matter which record it choose because everything is tie. So it might choose John Smith. If you run it 10 times, you will see different results. Okay. So row based we have seen. Now in the field based. So in the field based, we have all the columns named here and strategy. Here you have to give the priority to each column. Like if you choose the longest, so in the organization name, it will go and it will pick the, first of all, it will identify the cluster, and in every cluster, it will go by the strategy that you have given. For example, if we have four records are identified as the duplicates, then in the organization name, it will go and choose whichever record has the longest number of characters, that record will be picked up. If you go in the person name, if you give the most frequent, so in the it will go in the person name column, and most frequently person name, whichever it is, it will pick that. In the id, if you give maximum, so for four ties, if id is 159 or 11, these are the four ids, then it will, in the id column, it will pick 11 only. And based on all the strategies from all the column, it will pick the record based on that. Okay. So we'll go with the row based only, and we will test with the most data. So whichever record has more number of characters present, that record only be picked. So let's see. Hmm. So we have the result for cluster ID 1, 2, 7. Let's see one by one. In this we have only one. In this we have two. Which one is preferred record? Everything is same. So it does not matter which one it picks. In 4, so see here. If you see in the cluster ID 4, you will see we have two different person name, and the person name with the more number of characters only given the priority because we have chosen the most data. So this is how it works. So you get the idea, right? So we have saved this, and now let's create a mapping. So this is all in the consolidation part, and this is how we create the data quality, means data deduplication asset, and now we use this in the mapping. Okay. So how to create mapping? Here is the diagram which I have copy and pasted, taken the screenshot and pasted in the notes. So in the future you can have it for the reference. Okay. So if you want me, I can, so no, let's create one from the very beginning. We'll see everything step by step. Okay. So go here in the source, go pick the data, flat file source. um, I have created this data set for YouTube video only. Let's see the preview. Hmm. So this is the record that we have. Let's check. We can go with this record, or okay, let's go with this record only. And after that we need to pick our deduplication asset and place it after the source. Okay, so in the deduplication, all we need to do is to select our asset, incoming fields. Let me check once. Okay, no worries, we will see. I will copy all these records and put it inside. Okay, so we'll fresh start. I have cleared all the target documents that I have created yesterday. And okay, so deduplication asset, here when you click, you need to go into your project and dd underscore employees. This is what we have created, right? So in the incoming fields, now we can have all the data that is coming from the source. These are all the 5 columns coming from the source field mapping. Okay, so we need to map it organization name to organization name, company name will go to company name, person name. Now one important point then that I want to highlight here. In the group key, this extra field generated during the runtime, during the field mapping. So in that, whatever we have given in the I will open the data quality asset in the one more tab. See. So index key, whatever the index key you give here, that index key you need to map it in the group key. This is how it works. This is how it will mean segregate the data, and you can map the email in the email field as well. Okay. So till now we have completed this. Now go to the output field. So output field we have these many records. You know that we have this input, all the fields like email address, it will be generate, it will prefix it with the out underscore, and it will generate this out email or address part 1, it survived, everything will be put with the out underscore prefix. So we will limit this, we will not let these many columns to pass to our target, only only the columns which are of our interest. Okay. So how we can do that? Using expression transformation. Expression transformation is used to do the field level, means row level transformations. Okay. So in the expression transformation we will go in the incoming fields, we have all those fields, but what we can do, we can limit how many fields that needs to pass to our target. Include. Okay. Include named fields. So we have in the, which are all the records that we want to pass. We have two different field name, one is address part 1, another one is out address part 1. So which one we need to pass it through the expression transformation? We need to pass the out address part 1. Why? Because this is directly coming from the source, but we want the records that is coming from the deduplication, that needs to be passed on. Here you can see one more, we have email. This is not what we want to pass, we want to pass the out underscore email that is coming from the deduplication asset. Okay. To it survived. Okay, we will see this, if the row is survived or not. And organization name we want to pass, person name we want to pass, anything else. So how many columns we have selected? 2, 3. Cluster id and cluster size we want to pass. In originally we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 columns. Do we have 4 columns? Address part 2 we do not have. Company name we want to pass. Cluster, okay, fine. This is all we want to pass, right? So these are the fields that are included. In the expression you go, you create an output port, or you can create an variable port as well, but directly let's go with the output port. Okay, output port. Here you can out records. Now configure. We want to pass all the records, all the columns that we have. So let's give it a true. True will do nothing, but it will be true for all the columns, and it will just pass it. Can we have a data preview? What error? Okay, target we need to select. And mapping we have not done. Mapping connection is not specified. An object is not specified. Okay, for complete mapping to be working, we need to select the target as well. So go in the target. Let's see the incoming field here. We can check it here as well. Okay. First select the target. We will create a new file at the runtime and give it a name. Employee all data. Go to target fields. Go to field mapping. There's nothing to do because we are creating at runtime, so we do not need to. So what is the problem coming? Named rule has no selection or rename entries. Okay, so here is the problem. Named rule, this extra rule has been selected, so we need to delete this. Now it should work fine. So these type of problems come in real time also, and it creates problems. So you need to know. You will only know when you practice. Let's run and go to our, see here, do we have anything flat file target? We have nothing. So here the data will come. Let's run. The data will be loaded. Hmm. All the rows, 17 rows. Why 17 rows? Because it will add the duplicate records as well. Okay. Cluster ID, cluster size. Then we have all our usual column names. And then out survival record. These are added by the Informatica. Okay. Okay. So now what we want to go into this, and we want to segregate the duplicate records separately and the unique records in the different targets. So we want two different targets. You can have three different targets, one for all the data, one for duplicate records, and one for unique records. But here I will create for unique records and duplicate records, and you can create one more. So what I will do, I will just copy and paste, drag and drop here. Okay. Now go in this target. But before that, we need one router transformation that will route the two different records. One is duplicate and another one is unique. So for creating separate path, we need a router transformation. Connect this. Go to router transformation. Incoming fields, all you have. Okay. Here we will create one only, and rest all we will put it to default. Okay. So configure this. Not simple. Let's go advanced. Define filter conditions. So this one is for duplicate records. So how do you know which one is duplicate? If the cluster size is more than one, if a record, if then it means that it has some duplicates, right? Cluster size 1 is the unique records, and in the default nothing. So we'll rename this also. Let's rename this is duplicate records. Duplicate. Let's write customers. So duplicate customers will go to target 1. Let's make it look good. Okay. So this is the complete mapping design. And now in the target, this is the duplicate records, right? So let's rename this target as duplicate. Duplicate records. And this is no, this one is duplicate. This is duplicate record, and this is unique. Why it is getting selected all the time? This one is unique. Okay. So we have unique record and we have duplicate record. Two different targets. Configuration. Let's go to the configuration. We are in the unique side. Everything is same. Everything is same. Field mapping. For the duplicate records as well. We have given the condition for duplicate records. Rest all will go to the unique record, which are not duplicates, which have cluster size 1. It will go to unique, and other will go to the duplicate record. So we'll see what we have in our folder already. We have all data, employees all data, and once we once we run this mapping, it will run two different, and we can rename the target field target, or in which we are in the unique records. So at the target we'll give the file name as unique. Object select, here we'll give unique records. Unique underscore records. And for this we will rename it as duplicate records. Right. So everything is set now, and now we are going to run the mapping. Let's save, check if it is valid or if there is some problem. Okay, it's valid. Let's run it. So here we have one record only. Now two more records will, it will just populate. Okay, mapping is done. 8 unique records, 9 duplicate records. Go to our folder and check duplicate records. So all has cluster size more than 1. It means all are duplicate. For unique records, all have cluster size 1. This is what it is supposed to have. Let's see. Cluster size, all have cluster size 1. It means all are unique records. So this is how we do the deduplication in Informatica. So now you have fair idea about how to do it and how we do it in real time projects. This is how you are supposed to do. But in real time, you might add some extra transformations, like before duplication, you might use cleanse, and you might want to use other transformations in the in between, but this is for deduplication only. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. I will answer it. Okay.